Reuben Birin Special School for the Hearing Impaired is opening its doors to its grade 7 and grade 12 learners today after not being able to open last week due to the school not receiving sufficient PPEs. The school used its own funds to fumigate the school, and teachers used their own PPEs to get the school classes ready to comply with the regulations. The school is also faced with an infrastructure backlog, with classroom shortages after the school was set alight in August last year. The damage of the fire has not been fixed as yet. So let's now cross again to our reporter, Lerato Fekisi. Lerato, I know you're in the middle of a report, unfortunately. That link breaking down a bit earlier. Perhaps you can start with talking to us about the condition of the school and what's hoping to happen from today.
Good morning to you, and well, the school was supposed to open this morning, but the principal, the SGB and the teachers opted not to open the school today because the parents of the school were just a bit concerned in terms of their pupils and the anxiety they feel. This school specifically and supports areas outside of Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, so pupils are travelling from as far as wide as Uitenhage, Jeffreys Bay, coming to school here. So parents were being anxious that if their pupils are going to travel so far amidst a pandemic, some of them also and have got chronic illnesses, so they were worried that perhaps the week preparation to get things done was perhaps not enough to assure them that their pupils will be safe. Also, Leanne, earlier on I spoke about the issue of infrastructure, that the school actually burnt down last year, part of the school, not the entire school, and to date it has not been fixed. Speaking to the principal earlier on, I asked him, is this going to affect learning and schooling here at school? And he said it is going to, because in terms of social distancing regulations, there must be a few pupils in the class, and if this area was fixed, it would make their lives easier as well. But he is here this morning. And he's going to speak to us and tell us exactly what are they expecting as they reopen now, Leanne, on Wednesday and not today. Mr. Mzonele, let's just first talk about the readiness of the school. You said that in terms of scholar transport, you provide the transport that is ready, but the parents themselves are a bit anxious about schools opening today.
Yes, first and foremost, as you might know, that schools were supposed to be open last week. We have taken the school whole of last week as a preparatory week. We have prepared classes for grade 7, which is going to accommodate 16 learners with 1.2 meter social distancing. Also, we've prepared classes for grade 12 because we only have 3 learners in grade 12. But the little bit challenge is that our learners are scattered around the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality and many other areas like Jeffreys Bay, Hanke, and so on. But when we are communicating with parents raise the issue that they are not prepared to send their kids today. They will be fine on Wednesday. They are preparing for their kids to come back to school on Wednesday. So we have agreed as parents to say we will prepare our transport in terms of sanitation and many other procedures to make sure that on Wednesday we are taking the learners to school.
Mr. Blow, you also spoke about the issue of infrastructure, the area that was burnt, and how important it is for that area to be fixed, because obviously every part of the school is so important to make sure that it is running well.
Yes. Since the school was burnt in 2019, we have several meetings with the Department of Education. The department was prepared, firstly, to take into consideration the issue of our burnt building in this financial year, which is starting on 1st April 2020 to 2021. The second aspect, the department was prepared to assist the school is the issue of temporary classes, of which we are still waiting for them, and we hope that those temporary classes will come soon. Because before we close, before this issue of this COVID-19, we were in talks that identifying the fields where we will place those temporary classes. It will have a negative impact, of course. Now there is this social distancing. It will have a negative impact. You will know that you will need more classrooms so that we can be able to acquire on those issues of social distancing.
And then, Principal, also, the parents are obviously nervous because their pupils have got chronic illnesses. They're also traveling from far. In terms of psychological support for these pupils when they get back to school to assure them that even during a pandemic, school can happen and they are safe at the school, is there going to be some psychological support given to parents and also to pupils to assure that there is safety still at school even amidst a pandemic?
Yes, there will be that program. We were prepared in terms of orientating the parents who are going to be here at school. As I've said before, not all parents, because we'll be focusing on grade 7 and grade 12. We're expecting plus minus 20 parents. We do have NGOs inside the school who've got social worker services. We also have a social worker intern from the Department of Education. So we are going to be able to help them in terms of making sure that we orientate them on this COVID-19. We make sure that they must relax, because everyone is panicking, because no one has a good understanding 100% of the COVID-19. Everyone is panicking, but the most important issue is to make sure that you wear your mask, you sanitize, you keep the social distancing, as we are doing every day since we opened.
Well, that was the principal of the school, Umzonele Boy, just saying as a school, they have really put all hands on deck to make sure that come Wednesday, the school is prepared to welcome its grade 7 and grade 12 learners. But a bit of concern is the issue of infrastructure, that the school which burnt down, part of the school which burnt down last year, has still not been fixed. And at a time where the school needs every single space to make schooling really conducive for pupils, they are asked the department to really step up to their promises and give them temporary structures or identify new land where they can build a proper school. And also saying that in terms of psychological support, they're going to have social workers at the school, because and these are hearing impaired pupils, so you really have to tread lightly and give them enough assurance and give the parents enough assurance that at school these pupils will be safe. So he is confident that come Wednesday it will be all good, set and go to make sure the learners are safe, and above all the academic year continues without any glitches. But for now, let's go back to in studio.
Thanks very much, Lerato, for that update from the school, and we'll check in again how things are going there in, I suppose, the near future to see when they open.